Okay, okay. So, welcome to Heart to Heart. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation.
Thanks for having me.
Good, good. Okay, so let's dive into the questions. So let first question is, and it's a very easy one. So your name. How did you come up with your name?
Oh, so my name Jambre is just taken from my real name. Um, when I was about like 11, uh, I had an old email account which I was kind of embarrassed about. I thought it'd be a cool idea to call myself Hot Skater 65 when I was about 10. But then I thought that's a bit stupid. I need to change it. So I saw my brother had a similarly named email where he took part of his first name and part of his last name and put it together, come up with it. So that's what I did. The Jam is from James, and the Bray is from Brennan. So you put them together, you get Jambre,
Oh.
and it just stuck since then.
It's funny because every time I say Jambre, I want to say Jambre Druid because
Oh yeah,
before knowing you, I thought it was just kind of a name we would put on decks.
yeah,
And then I'm like, oh my god, you're a person. Oh my god.
yeah. Most people think it's like French or something, but it's not. Or I used to get called Yambre.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, even from English speakers as well.
So you're from United Kingdom, right?
Yes,
Okay,
from England.
where exactly?
Essex in England, which is like, for those who don't know, is like northeast of London.
Yes, well, I think it was very popular by the TV show
Or,
with Chloe from
wait,
Essex.
yes.
So now everyone knows this place. Everyone knows.
Yeah, yeah.
Bloom, one sec. Okay, so you've been playing Hearthstone since the beginning, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That is correct. Yeah, from closed beta.
So tell us a bit about your journey from beginning to everything starting to unfold for you as a streamer.
So I picked up the game not for me, but for my friend because he played Magic at the time, and I wasn't really into it. So I thought it'd be fun. I've been given a code for the closed beta for Hearthstone. I thought it'd be fun for him to try it out, so he did it on my computer. We both played it for a bit. He ended up not continuing, but I ended up really liking it. And then I just basically played the game for a while. I always made my own decks straight from the beginning. In terms of streaming, I was intending to stream for quite a few years, I think, until I started actually doing it. And that was probably like 2 or 3 years ago now when I actually started. And I've been doing it since then, really.
Okay, nice, nice. So how long it took for you to start streaming it? Because you started playing it, and so how long does it took for you to be to start doing content creation?
Well, I guess the game came out a long time ago, 2014, right? So I did a few like videos on YouTube, maybe starting in like 2017, like here and there, but nothing like regular. And then I think it was maybe 2019 when I started streaming every single day, pretty much. It's tough to start streaming. The numbers aren't very high usually when you start, so hard to find that like motivation to keep going back day by day. But after like several months and the numbers start like going up and up and up, it's kind of rewarding in itself.
Definitely.
But yeah. So yeah, stuck with it, and here we are.
Good. So when you told your parents you were going to do content creation for a living, how did they react?
I don't think there was ever a moment I was like, I'm gonna do this.
Big announcement.
It's kind of, I was like, yeah, everyone gather around, I gotta tell you something. No, I think it just kind of gradually went into it. I was doing it a bit whilst doing other jobs here and there, so it wasn't really like one day I was doing it, one day I wasn't. It was kind of just like eased into it. So I don't think there was ever a moment where I was like, all right, I'm doing this. What do you think about it? But I think they seemed fine with it.
Good. And so what were the other jobs you were doing while doing content creation?
I was working for a poker company, Poker Stars, on their TV shows, doing basically helping implement the graphics they show on screen during the play in poker. So like you'd have when the cards show up on the screen and stuff. I was doing that for a while, which was pretty boring, I have to say.
So you're a graphic designer?
All the time. No, I wasn't a designer. I was just implementing it.
Okay.
So I wasn't even doing the cool part.
Well, it must have helped you after to like with your own graphic design and implementation, even though you were not doing them.
Oh yeah, you pick up some stuff for sure to help with streaming. But
how long were you in the poker business?
Well, I played poker professionally for a few years until I did this. So I used to play in the casino every night. Live poker against a bunch of old men, usually, which got kind of tiresome. And then I met some people, and through them worked this company, and then got bored of that, and then decided to do this instead.
So, did you ever play with Luna poker?
No, I don't think I have.
It's so funny, like 2 weeks of heart to heart, and there's a conversation about poker.
Did she used to play? I didn't actually know that.
Yes, professionally too. So it's funny. It's funny.
I think actually a lot of Hearthstone players have played poker. I know No Hands Gamer also was big on it, and we've talked together a lot about it. I think also Papa Jason, if you know him, he's currently playing poker full time. There's definitely like some transitional skills between the two, I think.
Good. But so why did you leave the poker scene? I mean, it's definitely very I don't know. I feel it's like hard to leave a job where you make lots of money.
Yeah. I was kind of, one, getting bored of it, and two, I was feeling I had a feeling like I wasn't really contributing anything to society in a way.
That's
like
a very
playing
good point.
poker. I felt like it wasn't very rewarding, to go to a casino every day and essentially make money off people losing money. It felt like morally wrong, I would say, after a while.
I can
to
understand
continue
that.
doing that, and I wanted to try and do something else.
Okay, well that's a very good reason. I mean, for sure it must be a bit weird. It must be fun at the beginning, though.
Yeah, no, for sure. It is. I still enjoy the game. It's fun. It's just doing it every day. It was a bit taxing, and also it's not like super secure. Like you're making money based on how well you perform and often how lucky you get as well. So it's a bit stressful.
And so, can you talk a bit about your education?
Oh, my education. I went to university and studied physics at a bachelor's level, but never went anything beyond that.
And what were you planning to do with a physics degree?
I never figured that out. That's how I ended up playing poker, I think.
That's kind of funny.
I didn't know what I wanted to do at university, so I just basically decided to. I knew I wanted to go, so I decided to just pick something that I was good at, and I was good at physics, even though I didn't really feel like I massively wanted a career in it. And then by the time I finished my degree, I still hadn't figured out what I wanted to do, so never went further with it. I did work a little bit in a lab for about a year, but I really didn't enjoy it. So, yeah, moved away.
Okay, good. Okay, so now let's dive a little bit more into Hearthstone. So, first question, which expansion was your favorite one from the past?
I think the dinosaur one, Angura. I think that one had like one of the best themes, just dinosaurs. Really cool. And I think I enjoyed the meta game at the time because it was very diverse and there was nothing like overly toxic, I would say, or like felt completely awful to play against. That's the one that springs to mind for me.
Do you have a favorite card from this expansion?
From that expansion? No, I did play a lot of Murloc Paladin back then. I'd say my overall favorite card is one called Dragon Egg, which is not from that one. I think that card's from before then. It might be from the expansion, actually. Let me check when that was. Dragon Egg. I think it was from before then. Maybe from the... Oh yeah, from Blackrock Mountain, Dragon Egg, which was just a 1 mana 0/2 that whenever it was damaged, it summoned a 2/1. And I enjoyed just buffing that up in my Paladin decks back in the day.
Nice. And is there one that you like the art of it? Is there one card that you were like, oh, the art of this card is really cool?
Recently, Antonidas, the most recent Antonidas card, the one, it's not a very good card.
Oh no, it's a good card. I've played
the one you have to play 3 fire spells.
I've used it so much, and it's the funniest thing when you kill your opponent with it.
Yeah.
I had lots of success with him, I must say.
Oh really?
I did.
I tried like all day to get him to work, and I think I got him one time to go off, and then he just shot some 1/1s, and I was like, okay, not worth it.
No,
I love the art on him.
I was playing on the Quest Mage.
Oh yeah.
Before, not now, but before the new expansion, and it was like unexpected. Like people knew like I could not burst them for that amount, and then poof. Mm-hmm. There was never nothing on the board. Like it was the quest meta, so there was like.
Yeah, that's true.
It was phase
off board.
Yeah. There was no board ever.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So So did you compete into any interesting venue that you would like to talk about?
A venue.
Or tournament, you can, doesn't matter.
I don't know if that any of them qualify as interesting, really. They're all
Okay.
pretty similar. Just big halls with a lot of
Computers.
a lot of computer and a lot of sway people inside. But yeah, no, I don't know if there's any that qualify as interesting. Oh, actually, maybe very early on when the tournament scene was first happening, there wasn't these big venues for just an event, and they just had to hold them in locations around your country. And for me in the UK, it was just a bar.
A bar?
pub. Yes. So we had all of us just playing our tournament, all really focused, trying to win, and then next to us we've got like some drunk old geezer having a pint.
What?
Which made it hard to concentrate sometimes, but
that must have been very difficult.
It was fine. It was fine, really, because in between rounds you could relax a bit, I suppose. But this was like back in 2016, I think, and I think a few other locations. I think I remember that year in the Americas, people had to do it in a Buffalo Wild Wings, and on their Wi-Fi, and that went out during the tournament.
Oh no!
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that must have been devastating.
Yes, I'm sure it was for them, but that's like kind of crazy time in Hearthstone, thinking back then compared to now. If that's happened now, there would be a lot of complaints, a lot of drama on Twitter over it, I'm sure.
Yes. Good.
And someone in chat was at the Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
oh my god.
Who knows?
Oh my god. Okay. And then, well, do you have a favorite tournament you went to? Not that.
I think my very first tournament, where I almost made seasonal championships, I went into it, first of all, not knowing I'd qualified until a few days before, when Frozen, who America's player, told me that I had qualified for it, and I hadn't realized. So I had to like scramble some decks together to submit, and I was actually playing with my Dragon Egg Paladin back then. I submitted that and went to the tournament. No one was playing this deck, and I knew it was good. And I also knew if it was ever on broadcast, people would kick up a fuss about it. So I was hoping to just basically get on camera throughout the tournament, and I did pretty well. Got to the penultimate game for qualification, but I didn't know I was going to qualify. During it, I thought it was just basically another game, so I didn't really understand the pressure until afterwards. But it was pretty fun. It was on broadcast. It's fun looking back at the cast on it, because every time a new card would come up, there was no like open deck list at the time, so they didn't know what was in my deck. So every top deck, like the casters were going insane because there's this weird card that no one was playing at the time. So it was quite fun to look back on that. I ended up losing the series like miserably, 0-3 I think, and not qualifying, but it was still a pretty fun memory.
And did your deck pick up after that?
It did. And actually someone else in the tournament who I'd been speaking to, Pokravac, was also playing my deck. I don't think he was on stream with it, but he qualified. He managed to qualify to the seasonal championships playing it. But luckily, I guess for me, he wasn't on stream, because if he was, people would probably associate the deck with him rather than me, because he played before me. So at least I got the glory of showing the deck on stream, even if I didn't win.
That's a good little prize. Good. So what is your plan for the near future? Are you gonna continue streaming? Do you have plans on doing something else? So yes.
I'm planning to just keep streaming this year. See how much I still love the game. It has been a bit tiring, Hearthstone, lately. I've not been enjoying some of the design of the game lately, at least this past half year. So I have questions sometimes whether I still want to keep doing this, but I'm going to stick with it for now. I still do enjoy most aspects of the game, but for me, like, the thing I love most about Hearthstone is creating like weird decks that are semi-viable or sometimes really viable on ladder. But it's been a bit hard to do that, at least these past couple of expansions, because of just like the power level and the OTKs and all these things. It's hard to actually make something weird because you have to kill your opponent by this turn, or you have to outarm them or whatever. But most decks aren't capable of doing that. So for me, like, it's not been the most fun, the game recently. So if it continues that way, I might look for other avenues. But for now, I'm sticking with streaming.
Okay, good. So you mentioned you were in Belgium right now.
Not right now. I was in Belgium.
You were in Belgium. Okay, sorry.
I was in Belgium a bit ago, visiting my girlfriend, Baby Bear, a couple of weeks ago. We were in Antwerp. I'm back in the UK now.
Good, good. That's okay. That makes sense. Okay, so how long have you been together?
Oh God, you put me on the spot.
I'm sorry.
A few months. We met in October at a Hearthstone event, Max LAN, which is organised by French team Max Team TV. Me, her, and a bunch of our friends went there to just compete in the tournament. I met her there for the first time. I'd played against her on ladder, spoken to her very briefly, like online, but I'd never met her before. And we just kind of hit it off a bit and started doing some like e-dates afterwards, obviously because of the distance between us. She's in Belgium, I'm in the UK. So we just basically did some like dates over Discord, actually, every week. Have a glass of Prosecco, just chat a bit. And then we eventually met up. Sorry, go ahead.
Would you like put your screen and like eat a dinner with like, so we can both see the dinner and the glass, like if you were like one in front of each other?
Yeah, we both love food, so we do show what we're eating to each other. Yeah,
that's nice.
The date wasn't really a dinner date most times, but it was mostly just chatting and a glass of Prosecco.
Good. That's nice. And do you have a setup and everything in Belgium that you can use to stream?
Yes. Well, Baby Bear had one because she used to stream once upon a time. She's still telling people she's going to go back, but I don't know if that's actually true. Maybe one day. But yeah, she had a setup that I could use. I only streamed once, I think, while I was over there.
Oh, okay.
I intended to stream a bit more.
Well,
but I guess it was like a vacation sort of thing.
Yeah, and you had other things to do, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive into the food part of the interview.
Ooh.
Oh, I know, it's the stressful part. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a quick question, and you can tell me one or the other, and you can expand on the response. So,
Okay.
beer or wine?
Beer.
Okay, which
Slightly.
kind?
Lager. I'm not a huge on beer, mostly. Actually, when people are like really into beer, I find it a little pretentious. Like you get these people in like a pub and like they only want to drink ale, and they show you all these ales and stuff, and they all taste like shit, in my opinion. And then they're all like, "Oh, you're drinking that? It's horrible." It strikes me as a bit pretentious. But I did enjoy all the Belgian beers that I had with Baby Bear. They were quite nice. But maybe it's just the UK beers are just awful. It might be the case.
Um, and so, do you drink wine?
I do only with like
Food.
a nice meal, like in a fancy restaurant or something. I would have a glass of wine. I wouldn't normally pour one for me most of the time. Although sometimes if I'm doing like a poker game with like the boys, like just for fun, I might bring a glass of wine because it's a bit fun to share. I would say, like share a glass of wine with someone else at the table. It's nice.
Red or
But most
white?
of the time, red normally, or rosé. Red or
Ooh.
rosé.
Ooh. Nice. And orange?
Orange?
Orange
Is
wine?
that a wine?
Yeah.
I don't know that wine.
Okay.
What's orange wine?
The color is similar to rosé, but
Hmm.
they leave the skin contact longer, so it's a bit tannic. It looks like
Okay.
a white rosé, but it
Yeah.
has some of the composure of a red wine.
Ooh, that sounds nice. I might have to try that one. Orange? Is this called orange wine?
Yeah. Well, it's very popular here in Canada, but and to answer chat question, it's not made with oranges. It's made with grapes. Okay. Okay. So, okay. And cheese. Do you like cheese?
I'm not
I-
big on cheese.
Oof, oof.
I like cheese with like Italian food, maybe like cheese tomato on pizza or pasta. But I wouldn't eat just like cheese on its own.
Wow.
I think,
Devastating.
especially not smelly cheese. You sound like you're really big on cheese.
I am very big on cheese.
Do you have like a cheese board?
I eat cheese every meal.
Every meal?
Yeah.
Okay. What are your favorites?
Époise.
Époise.
That's my favorite. And it's
Don't know that
very,
one.
very smelly.
Oh.
It killed a bit of people. It's a very dangerous cheese.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you would pick like Parmesan or mozzarella as your favorite one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Something
good.
like that.
And
Something that doesn't taste of anything.
and Baby Bear doesn't like cheese either. Wow, you guys are really a good match.
Yeah. We bonded over our hatred of cheese.
Imagine. Okay. And okay, fruit or vegetables?
Fruit. I like both really. The fruit's tastier, right?
Okay, which is your top 3 favorite fruits?
Number 1, banana. Can't go wrong.
Do you
Easy
eat
to eat.
banana on
Got a
stream?
wrapper. Yes. Sometimes, I suppose, yeah.
Okay, good.
I used to play a deck called Banana Priest, which used Banana Vendor. So while I was playing that a lot, I used to bring some bananas onto stream. So whenever I played it, I could just like open a banana and eat it.
Okay, good.
But I think that's the best fruit because it's pretty much just a snack because it comes with a wrapper. And apples are also good. Bananas and apples mostly, and grapes.
Okay,
Be my top 3.
good. And so you see, you like vegetables too. So let's do a top 3 vegetables.
Okay. Baked beans, if that counts as a vegetable.
Okay.
The UK
Legume.
staple.
Yeah.
Legume.
So baked beans, and
Baked
then
beans, yeah. String beans.
string
Big
beans.
fan of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love those. I could eat them all the time. Let's go with a carrot. But
Carrots.
definitely not parsnips.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes, I hate parsnips, especially around Christmas. In the UK, we have like Christmas dinner, which you have like roast potatoes, turkey, all this stuff. But a lot of people also have parsnips, and the parsnips look exactly like roast potatoes, or very similar. So whenever you try and eat a roast potato, you're getting excited to dig into a nice tasty roast potato, and you accidentally eat a parsnip. It's horrible. So that's why I hate those.
So you're traumatized by parsnip.
Yes, they haunt me.
Interesting. Okay. And okay, so do you cook?
Sort of, not really well.
Do you
I've shoved things in the oven.
you what? You shop and put it in the oven?
I take something and shove it in the oven, and
Okay.
then cook it.
Okay, like
That's not really cooking, but yeah.
something
I'm
already
not. I'm
ready.
not. I'm not like a. Sorry, say that again.
It's like something that's already ready and you just put it in the oven.
Pretty much. Like chips, frozen stuff. Nothing. I'm not really a cook.
I'm just gonna do a little subtitle for this. He's talking about French fries, guys, when he say chips. So now you know.
Oh yeah, French
Because
fries. Yeah.
chips is crisp for us. Like, so if you put
Yes. Yeah. Of course. You wouldn't put those in the oven.
it's a running gag in my stream.
Oh really?
Yes. Good. Okay. So when you order food, what's your go-to?
Pizza, most likely. Pizza or fish and chips.
Okay.
And chips is French fries.
Amazing. Do you have a favorite restaurant that you like to go to?
Yeah. There's a local Italian place called Ask. My sister used to work there, so we used to have half off on all our meals, and it was pretty nice food as well. So
Nice.
end up going there quite a lot.
Nice. Does Baby Bear cook? Taking a large sip of water.
She does. She makes a very good omelette. That's all I've actually had from her cooking so far. Because when we were together, we ordered way too much takeout. I think between us, but at least we cooked our breakfast, and she makes a very good omelette.
Good. Amazing. So now we're gonna get into chat questions.
Okay.
1 second.
Normally from chat, I get asked, "What's the best deck for Legend?" So let's see if they do that.
1 second. I have it there. Okay. Who are your favorite entertainment character with gray hair?
Who are my favorite entertainers with grey hair? That was it.
Yes.
Who asked that one?
It's oh no. Who asked that?
Okay. Well, I love Geralt of Rivia. He's an idol of mine. I normally get asked in my chat, has anyone ever said you look like Geralt because of my hair? Almost every week I'd say I get it. I had it asked so many times I had to put a counter for how many times it get asked. I think we're up to like 61 now since I put it in. But for entertainment, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
Nice.
Yes. So anything to do with that I love. So I suppose like Gandalf has got grey hair.
Good. What Microsoft franchise character would you add to Battlegrounds, Duels, or Mercs?
Ooh. Microsoft, huh? I mean, the obvious answer is the Master Chief, right? Who else could it be? Do they have any other characters other than Master Chief? Maybe Bill Gates himself. Put him in there.
Okay, good, thanks. If you were a battleground hero, who would be your battleground buddy?
My Battlegrounds buddy? I have to tell you, I've played so little Battlegrounds, I don't know the heroes too well. But who do I remember from? There's Mukla. He sounds like a good guy. He can be my buddy. Obviously Bob. Everyone wants to be buddies with Bob, but I really don't know the game mode too well.
It's okay. So they announce it and it's not live yet, but every hero is getting a buddy, and so you cannot pick another hero as your buddy or Bob.
Okay.
But it was a funny answer. So a buddy is really like another, like it's a new thing completely. So something.
Right.
So you could say maybe the dragon egg. The dragon egg.
My buddy's an egg. Okay. That sounds kind of sad.
Or a murloc, I don't know.
Or a Murloc, okay. I'll go with a Murloc. So each hero gets like a. Is it another character as their buddy, or is it just like a card or something?
So you have like steps to get to your buddy, and after that it acts like it's a bit like another hero power, like so it works in synergy with your hero.
I see.
So yes,
Okay,
it's a new feature.
I'll go with the egg then.
Yeah, Ono is saying it's like a pet.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
And so in chat we have Baby Bear, not the buddy side.
Oh yeah, Goose. Actually, Malagos. Yeah, I'll go for Malagos. Malagos is my favorite card right now.
Okay.
Right.
Maligoose. Okay, perfect.
Malagos, yes.
I love that. I am not okay, so the question is, I am not a fan of Shaman hero power. Please tell me why I'm wrong and how you could improve or completely change the hero power.
The Shaman hero power. Oh. I tried to ask the devs to change the Shaman hero power once, because I got so annoyed about rolling the 1/1 every time I was playing a totem Shaman deck, because I needed my totem to stick on board on turn 2, and the 1/1 always got killed by a hero power or a 1-drop, so I just get getting tilted that it would lose the game. So I mean, I think the best suggestion I've heard for changing the Shaman hero power would be to make it similar to the old Dr. Boom hero power, where you would know what your hero power is going to be next turn. So either it always starts as say, the taunt totem, or it starts as a random one, but you get to know what it's going to be next turn. At least both players get to know it. I think that would be a bit better. That way you can at least like plan for what's going to happen. Also, RIP spell power totem. You did nothing wrong. I want you back.
Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that. So, another question from chat: bear or goose?
Oh, this is strictly about the animals, right? No,
Yes,
no other
it's strictly
hidden meaning
about
here.
the animals.
Bears-
Nothing else
bears or
related.
geese? I think in real life, I think bears are cooler. Geese are just assholes. They're very territorial. We have a load of them in our park, and you just don't want to go near them.
Okay, good.
I suppose if there were bears in the park too, I probably wouldn't want to go near them either. But at least they look cuddly.
Okay, perfect. What are you most excited about the upcoming Hearthstone patch?
Oh, a hopeful deletion of poison or weapon rogue. I hate that archetype so much. Maybe more than any other archetype I've hated in like all of Hearthstone, at least from what I can remember. Everything is really terrible for the game to have something like that where you basically can't interact at all with what your opponent's doing, and every game's very samey, and like you're like, I need to kill them by this turn or I lose, and it just feels awful to basically not be able to play the game. So hopefully the patch will delete that deck. I don't want it to just be nerfed into like tier 2. I want it like completely gone, because it's such a miserable play experience. And I kind of hope that they won't print cards like Cloak of Shadows in the future. Paladin used to have a card like Timeout, but it was kind of fine back then because the draw aspect of Paladin and the mana cheat wasn't as good, and they didn't have as strong a reset in Scabs that Rogue does right now. But Cloak of Shadows right now is just like a massive problem card, I think, and I just want to see it go. It's just really not enjoyable.
Good. I agree. I don't like to play against this deck, and I don't play this deck, so. Okay, 1 sec. I'm wondering where are. Okay, so here. What club does you support? I'm guessing they're talking about football.
Yes, Manchester United.
Okay, good. Are you?
Now, before anyone says, "Oh, he's from Essex and he supports Manchester United," which is nowhere near Manchester. Both my parents are from Manchester, so that's where I got it from. So it's not a case of just supporting the best team. There's a little bit of heritage involved as well.
Good. Are you a fan of football?
Yes, although I don't get to watch too much because I'm usually streaming when most of the games are shown, which are evening time UK. So I tend to watch just highlights most of the time after I'm done streaming.
Good. Is there any UK people that don't like football?
Yes, and they will tell you about it. There are some other sports in the UK, like rugby and cricket, and people who are fans of them love telling you how much football is overrated, and cricket/rugby are the real true sports. Yeah.
Cricket.
Basically sports hipsters.
Yeah.
Like me with decks.
Crickets. Have you ever played crickets?
Yes, and watched it. It's very boring. Have you played or seen it?
I only play croquet.
Canada have.
I play croquet.
Croquet?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I won the tournament this year.
Really? That's
cool.
Was it a big tournament?
No, it was a friendly tournament with my friends,
Oh, okay.
which included a lot of Aperol spritz and rosé. So
That sounds fun.
difficult to count at the end. Difficult to count. But I've never played cricket. Okay.
It's fun on the beach. I would say that's the time it is fun. That's something that people tend to do over here. Just get a cricket set on the beach and play with some friends. But I'd say the actual game is like a bit dull, a bit slow, especially to watch.
Okay, good.
When people talk about cricket, and they're trying to convince you that the sport's good, they talk about all the things that aren't cricket. Like they say, oh, you get to sit out in the sun, you get to have a drink with friends and stuff, and they're basically describing going to the park or something, but they're trying to sell you on the sport being actually good.
Amazing. How did you like to be on Raran show?
Oh, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was so much fun. I actually studied very hard for it before because I wanted to win, and I realized I knew nothing about the game in terms of like actual knowledge. I knew there'd be a lot of questions on like naming cards, and I referred to every card as like, oh, it's a 4-mana 3/4 that does this, but I never knew like the name of the card, so I had to go back and sort of try and actually learn some of the names. And Baby Bear helped me actually. We had a bit of a cram session together where she was asking me a load of questions on it, and it helped a lot.
A study buddy.
Yeah, study buddy, exactly. Yeah.
Yes. Good girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree. Me too. I always call cards these and these, and
Yeah.
I know what they do. I know the mana and everything, but I don't always remember the name. And I've been trying to stop saying these and these and start learning the name of the cards. But chat asked me to go back to these and these because they prefer that for some reason.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people are the same. If you start, calling something its actual name, and it's like an obscure card, people will be like, what are you talking about? What is that card?
You see in chat, people are like, please never stop. Please never. Okay. Okay. Sorry, this was too funny. What weird deck you made surprised you the most with the result you got?
Recently, Anaconda Druid.
Well, Jambre
that's-
Druid. Jambre.
Jambre Druid. Yeah, well, that was weird. At the time, there were 2 different Jambre Druid decks, so they needed 2 different names. The first one was the one I'd been making all year, which was basically just a ramp-style Druid with Malagos at the top of it, using like Arbor Up and things. That was like the original Jambre Druid. And then I made another Druid deck, which later became known as Anaconda Druid, which was basically using Lady Anaconda, Germination, Fungal Fortunes, Nourish, all these things. I didn't use Malagos at all. And that deck surprised me, not because the Anaconda was good, but because Nourish was good, which has been a card that's been awful for a long time. And I was trying to make Anaconda work with Germination, and it was really strong to go Lady Anaconda, Germination, Fungal Fortunes, and I was still trying to make Malagos work in that deck. But I just on a whim sort of typed in nature spells in the collection, trying to find things to work, and I saw Nourish, and I was like, surely this isn't going to work, but I'm going to try it out. And then after a couple of games, when I started just drawing my entire deck and playing it on one turn, I was like, okay, this is a real thing. Let's show it on stream. And then the deck was kind of born from there. And it just surprised me that the card Nourish, which had been pretty much unplayable for a long time suddenly was what took the deck from being like okay to something that was very, very powerful. It wasn't the best card in the deck by any means. It was just something that took the deck from being meh to really good, I thought.
I remember that deck when it came out, well, when you made it. I was on vacation, I brought my setup on vacation, so I was streaming every day still. But so I was like in a different like environment and everything. And so someone was like, since you're like in a different place, you should try a new deck. And they're like, this is one that I saw a streamer did this week. You should try it out. And so I tried it, and it was it was awful. I didn't know what to do. Like I didn't really grasp on the first time I used it. I was like, what is this deck? I did the Fungal Fortune and Anaconda left. Like my first try. I was like, okay.
Yeah. She has a habit of doing that. Just hiding at the top of your deck whenever you're about to play it.
So, and then I did it a second time, and then it worked. I was the perfect beginning. And the funniest thing was that everyone would add me after the game. What was that? What happened?
Yeah.
People would literally always, because it was at the beginning, and like, so lots of people were not playing against it. And so I got probably 10 friend requests to know what was this deck.
I used to get that too.
Well, of course. I can imagine. Anyway, so in my head, Jambre was a mix of an Anaconda and a Nourish together. And then I realized it was you. And then I realized
Yeah.
Okay.
I think historically, though, the deck that surprised me the most, and one of my favorite decks that I've ever made, which was from a long time ago, was something called Even Warrior. And this was when Gen and Baku were in the game, which changed the hero powers if you're even or odd. And there's a bunch of viable ones back then. And I thought, we're going to try and do the worst possible combination of hero power and whatever. There was Odd Warrior at the time, which made a ton of sense. They had a load of good odd cards and, tanking up for 4 armor a turn with the odd hero power was good. But I thought I'd try the even hero power, which was the 1 mana gain 2. And it was basically Recruit Warrior back then, because of a lot of the recruit cards were just even costed. And it just surprised me that it was actually a viable deck, even though I just made it to try and kind of be a meme. And I ended up really, really enjoying it. And it was one of my favorite decks ever. It's basically just a recruit warrior deck. But it had a card in it called Bladed Gauntlet, which was a 2 mana weapon that gained attack for how much armor you had. So the game plan early on was just basically press the 1 mana hero power every turn, and then you turn 4 or so have like a 4 or 6 attack weapon to help you control the board. But yeah, one of my favorite decks.
Nice.
Not very well known because it was kind of a meme.
Okay.
So your cat.
Yeah, it's my cat. Sorry, he wanted to be part of the interview. So, what is your favorite Hearthstone hero, and why?
Oh, do you mean class or do you mean like portrait?
Both.
Both. Okay, both. My favorite portrait is Rustican, the shaman one, because I like his voice lines. He's like, "How can this be?" and all that stuff.
Can you make other impression like this? Can you?
Oh yeah, I love doing the voice lines. I have it as a channel point reward. I always enjoyed doing that. I actually kind of have a dream to one day be able to voice a Hearthstone card.
Good.
For favorite class, I have a few favorites. once upon a time it was Paladin. I used to only play Paladin for like the first few years of Hearthstone. Like I'd have, I think, the most wins on Paladin out of anyone in the world. I think it was for like at least the first few years. But then I eventually stopped playing it because they stopped making the class interesting. I thought, at least this Libram stuff, I'm not a huge fan of that. So I haven't really played Paladin for a while. But in recent times, it's been Shaman and Druid mostly, and a bit of Rogue. And then very recently, I've been playing a lot of Priest, but I hate Priest normally. Recent times I've been playing it.
I discovered Priest this year and I love it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Control Priest was top favorite for me this year.
I really despise Control Priest.
I know. And
all my decks did terrible against it.
I loved it because it was such a complex deck that people were trying to play it and not having success in its super long game, so they would stop.
Yeah.
But then, so there wasn't a lot of people playing it. But when you did get the hang of it, even if it was 30 minutes games, you knew like it's infinite value, you know, you always find answers. You know?
Yes.
I really liked it. Everyone would come on stream and be like, no, not Priest.
Oh, really?
It's like, I'm gonna go to the grocery store, come back, and your game is probably gonna be still on.
Yeah. It definitely would be.
Okay, good. In your opinion, on the nerfs coming up, what do you think will impact the most the meta?
I think, out of the nerfs, which one would impact the most? I think the null nerf will be the most impactful. Null right now is played because it's extremely efficient. It comes down for 0 mana very early. The 4 attack on it is also very relevant in terms of like face damage and trades. So when you have a card like that that's pretty much a 0 mana card, and you change some numbers on it, those number changes are way more impactful because you're going from 0 to maybe 1 early on in the game. So right now the meta is completely revolved around null, and if null is suddenly not a very viable card, the meta is going to change completely. I personally think that the card is not going to be good anymore, and the Maestra Rogue is not going to be the best Rogue. We might just go back to like Garrett Rogue styles and stuff like that. I would have hoped that they would nerf Scabs more than they did, but I think he's still going to just be a fine card at 8 mana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. If you could introduce a new mechanic to regular Hearthstone, what would it be? I guess regular, the question, it meant standard. I guess.
A new mechanic. Yeah. Suggesting. Maybe like flying or something that they have in Magic, where a minion, if it's flying, it can't be attacked by things on the ground, right? So that could like lead to some maybe interesting minion combat ideas. Like you have something that can't be attacked by minions on board, or you have stuff that can shoot flying things or do extra damage. That might be interesting. Because right now we just got everything can attack each other, right?
Interesting, yeah, very interesting. Okay, are there other players who have inspired you as a deck builder, tier crafter?
Yeah. I always draw inspiration from many decks. it's very hard as like an individual to come up with the best perfect list of anything. You need data, you need ideas from other people. You can't come up with everything yourself. So I always like steal from other people, I suppose. Or like I see like some package in another deck, and like maybe that'll work in my deck, even if it's not the whole thing entirely. For individual like people who I think are very good at deck building and very creative, Wyra I think is one of the most creative deck builders out there. He always comes up with cool stuff. No Hands Gamer is really good at fine-tuning concepts, I'd say, and seeing something that's strong and making it stronger. So he's always a good one for deck building, but for like creating something from the beginning and making it really cool, I'd say Wyra would be my go-to for inspiration.
Okay, good. What team of an expansion added in the future would you be most excited about in terms of races or places in the WoW universe?
I've not played WoW, so I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not familiar with the lore too much. But
okay, but if we think, yeah, okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say, from what I've learned from Hearthstone, some of the cool aspects, dragons. I wouldn't mind something more to do with them. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Okay, good.
Another dragon-themed expansion. I know we already had one, but it'd be kind of cool.
Or a dinosaur one.
Oh yeah, a dinosaur. Could always go for that. Oh, actually, no. I have an idea. I'm a big fan of Diablo series, so I always thought it'd be cool if they could do like a crossover and have like a Diablo-themed Hearthstone expansion, just for one time.
Okay.
Because I'm very familiar with that universe.
Nice. Excluding Monk and Death Knight, if you could add a new class to the game, what would it be?
Again, I'm not too familiar with WoW knowledge, so I really don't know. Maybe a ninja.
A ninja.
Finja the ninja. As the Murloc.
Okay,
we
perfect.
Go with
perfect. And okay, last question. Are you a reader or do you watch TV? And if yes, what have you been reading or watching lately?
I'm more of a watcher. I used to read a lot, but not so much anymore. Lately, I've been rewatching Lost with Baby Bear, which is one of my all-time favorite TV shows, and she's just watching it for the first time. So that's been fun, just like sort of revisiting that and seeing someone's first-time reaction to it, which is nice. For other TV shows recently, I've not watched a whole lot. I think Squid Game was the last series I watched, which was because everyone was hyping it up, and it was okay. It was okay.
Good. And a movie? Did you watch a movie also lately?
Yeah, I watched a few movies lately. I watched a Belgian film, which was very depressing, called Broken Circle Breakdown. Which I don't know if anyone knows it. It's not a very well-known film, but it was a Belgian film, and it was very, very depressing. We watched it together, me and Baby Bear, on our date night, and it was, perfect, light-hearted, fun movie, which made you feel very bleak afterwards.
Okay. Oh yeah, it could have been maybe something more of a rom-com. Maybe.
Yeah. No, that's what I was getting me excited for, because I showed a rom-com movie and I was like, that's nice. Well, actually, that one also was slightly depressing at the end, but it was mostly a rom-com I showed her. And then she comes back with a even more depressing one.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. So,
I'll
so
say one
baby
of
bear,
my favorite. Yeah,
take some notes. Take some notes.
one of my favorite films from past decade, I guess, is Prisoners. Have you seen that one?
No.
It's from a Canadian director, I think. Denis
Denis
Villeneuve.
Villeneuve.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, from him. That's one of my favorite films.
His
Really
daughter
good.
is friend with my little sister. So
No way.
yeah. So
Really
I
cool.
yeah. So yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here today. It was very interesting getting to know you a bit more about your personal life and your journey as a streamer and as a person. So, and I really appreciate Baby Bear for being in chat all this time. Yes. Can we
Oh
give
yeah.
a round of applause to Baby Bear too? So thank you so much, guys. And I